Hey guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to solve our skillrack daily challenge using Python programming language. Before going to logic, if you didn't subscribe to our channel, then subscribe right now and make our work more meaningful.
Let us solve today's DC using Python programming language. The program must accept an integer R and C, and it must accept an integer matrix of size R cross C. Exactly one element is missing in the matrix which is represented by M, and it must accept an integer S, where S is nothing but sum of the elements present in the column where the missing element is present. The program must replace the missing element and print the matrix as our output. The program must accept an integer R and C and an integer matrix of size R cross C. Exactly one element is missing in the matrix which is represented by M, and it must accept an integer S, where S is nothing but sum of elements present in the column where the missing element is present. And finally, the program must replace the missing element and print the matrix. Now let us consider our test case. This is a matrix of size 3 cross 3 and the missing element is represented here. So we have to add the column and subtract it with 17. So 17 minus 8 and 6 in the column. So 8 plus 6, which is nothing but 3. So M should be replaced by 3. So let us copy and paste. Instead of M, we are just writing 3 and this will be our required output. Now let us check for our second test case. This is a matrix of size 4 cross 5 and S is 100 and the missing element M is here. So 100 minus, and in the column 25, 10, 15. So 25 plus 10 plus 15, which is nothing but 50. 100 minus 50 is 50. So M should be replaced by 50. So let us copy and paste. And instead of M, we have to write 50, which is our required output. The key logic is we have to iterate over the matrix and check whether it is an integer or not. If it is a character, means you have to add the column and subtract it with S. Now let us implement our logic using Python 3. You have to get the input from the user, that is integer R and C, and you have to get a character matrix as input. So we are getting matrix in the form of string because it contains a character M. Now for getting string matrix, the syntax is matrix of input dot split for row in range or. This is the syntax for getting the string matrix. Now you have to get another input, that is integer S, which is the total sum of the column. Now let us iterate over the matrix using for loop for row which ranges from 0 to row that is R, and for call 0 to R. Now let us put our condition. If current cell is an integer means we have to print the current cell. Print current cell. Else it must be the character M, because it is the only character present in the matrix. So let us have a variable called sum of call. You have to find the sum of the column. So sum of call, which is equal to, now int of matrix of S row, matrix of S row, and call for S row in range R if S row is not equal to row. This will get the columns of the character. Now finally we must print the difference between S and sum of call. The sum of call will get the integers, which is nothing but, if the character M is present here means the sum of call will get the integer 25, 10 and 15. The character M will not be repeated here because we are checking if S row is not equal to row, which gives only integer. So M will not be included. So except M, all the integers in the column will be added here. So we are using sum function here. So it will bring the sum of call, and finally we are subtracting it with S. Now after printing, you have to print a new line here. So print new line.